What's up, YouTube? We have mites, and we actually paid for them. Cue the intro, dive on in. So like the title says, we actually have mites, but I bought and paid for them. And why would we buy mites? Well, if you've ever had snake mites, you would know that it's a royal pain in the butt, right? So quick little backstory, back in 2019, we had mites twice. I was buying a bunch of animals. They were coming in from all over the place. We ended up with mites twice. And I'll never know where those mites came from because of how many animals we were buying at the time. And did we actually get mites twice, or did we get mites once and then get reinfested from the first time? We'll never know. But through that experience, we tried a bunch of remedies, including like ivermectin, the reptile relief spray that you buy at like pet stores. And we also used Prevenamite. I followed the directions, took out every snake, sprayed the tubs, let them dry out. But sadly, all the videos on YouTube never said, don't use it around hognose. And I lost one hognose. And it was a really severe, agonizing, slow death, honestly. I mean, that thing was doing the herky-jerky, and we had 2 hognoses at the time. One made it through, one passed away, sadly. And then I stumbled across Muscle Serpents University, Dave Palumbo's channel on YouTube, and he was talking about Frontline. Now, Frontline flea and tick spray did the trick. I mean, that stuff is great. Dave even emailed me back and forth a few times. Big shout out to Dave Palumbo. Thanks for helping me out in that situation. And ever since then, I've been doing kind of a preventative mite treatment. About every 6, 7, 8 months, I will spray down the whole collection with Frontline. And I would keep a no pest strip, hot shot thing just in my snake room, just in case something came up in the meantime. And you know, those things kill other bugs too. Which leads me to my point. If you're following our channel, you'd realize that we've been picking up some leopard geckos recently, and we're keeping more mealworms on hand. And thanks to my buddy Seth over at Huff's Herps, I'm now like gut loading my mealworms and, you know, trying to do the healthy thing for the leopard geckos. But that means I got bugs out in my room. So no longer can I just keep hot shot strips posted up. I used to keep it right up there on top of the incubator, just keep a hot shot strip in the room and let that stuff circulate around, kill any insects that are in here. But I don't want to kill all the insects because I'm breeding mealworms, right? Right. So, thanks to my buddy Chris Sexton at Heli Guy Serpents, I came across a new preventative mite treatment method. How about predatory mites? So check this stuff out. So I ordered these on Amazon. This is something that Chris Sexton turned me on to. Pretty easy. I mean, I ordered 2 of them because I really don't know how much, and that's kind of the amount he recommended. But Nature's Good Guys, soldier bugs. So these mites specialize in eating other mites. They are predatory mites. And here's kind of like a close-up picture of them. Pretty crazy looking. So I thought this would be cool. You know, let's fight fire with fire. This is something I guess the venomous community has been doing for a long time. So I figured, man, if it works for them, it's got to work for me. And the cool thing about this is, if those mites don't have anything to eat, they're going to die off. So it's self-policing. So a quick inside look into Shane's brain. In my head, this is playing out like the scene from Ants, where the ants go to war with the termites, and then you overdub that with the Rust in Peace album from Megadeth. Holy wars, diddly 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 diddly. Man, like all hell's gonna break loose. And this is gonna be so fun, but on a microscopic level. So I figured since this is something new for me, I'd go ahead and record it. And I don't even know if I'll be able to tell any results because I don't have any mites. But it's not gonna hurt to release some of these things throughout the tubs and take care of anything that might be floating around. Every new snake that I get, I treat it with Frontline, you know, and it gets its own little quarantine and all that stuff. And reminding me of new snakes, I got a new snake recently that we're gonna do a reveal on real soon. I didn't have time to do the unboxing that day. So look out for a new snake all the way from the Great North, Canada, land of maple syrup, mooses, and Labrador retrievers, or Newfoundlands, or something, whatever. So let's see how this looks together. I'm going to use this little Herbalife measuring thing that somehow is in my kitchen, even though we've never done Herbalife. And I'm going to do about a heaping half a teaspoon. Chris said do a teaspoon per tub, but I don't know. I don't know what to even look for, honestly. I'm assuming they're going to look like normal mites. There's pictures of them on that pamphlet. Let me know if you guys see anything. It's kind of hard for me to see through the viewfinder. Alright, so you can see them in there. They look like little tiny spiders crawling around, light colored, and those are the little predatory mites. They're going to go around and kill any kind of mites or any kind of unforeseen little parasites or anything that might be floating around in our collection. And fair warning, I have not seen anything like that in our collection. I just do preventative care, like I said, every 6, 7, 8 months, just to make sure there's nothing hiding around. So these little guys will go around and kill everything, if there is anything, and then they'll just die off because they won't have any food. So what I did was kind of sprinkle a little bit in the front of every tub. All the snakes seem to be checking out the new smell. So, like I said, I don't know, I think it was 60 bucks for 2 bottles. And I pay like 35 or 50, I forget exactly how much. For the Frontline spray bottle, it comes in a bigger spray bottle. So I mean, this is relatively the same cost as treating the collection with Frontline. But it's organic, you know, go green, all that stuff, you know, no chemicals around any of the reptiles, so that's pretty good too. So I went ahead and did heaping half a teaspoon in the front of all the tubs. Now we're going to put some in Pebbles enclosure, which I kind of just did water and a spot clean. But I guess the venomous community is the ones that do this, so this makes sense. Let's just go ahead and sprinkle some right there outside of Pebbles' log. Pebbles is in here kind of checking out what we're doing. Let's give Pebbles some extra. This is the last animal I want to have to treat for anything. But supposedly these things will kill the wood mites too, which you might see those sometimes in coconut. And speaking of coconut, we're on the final trials of coconut from Florida Rattery, D's Xotics. This is the 55-pound bale of coconut to go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sprinkle a couple scoops of this stuff in there, just in case there's any wood mites. I mean, this coconut to go is some of the cleanest coconut I've ever seen. But that doesn't mean it might not be harboring some kind of little parasites, so better safe than sorry. Let's do 3. And then I'll go ahead and close up this bag and let it sit there. Well, that wraps up this video. I put a heaping half teaspoon in everything, everywhere, except leopard geckos. But I put it in all the hatchlings, hog noses, all the baby hog noses over there. So that's it. Shirt shout out this week to B&Z Xotics. Go check them out on Instagram. And until next time, guys, rock on.